Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifesting with Feng Shui. I'm your host, Christina. So glad to be here with you. And guess what? We have officially made it through season 8 of the podcast. And as you know, if you've been here for a while, you know that season 8 was extended. We started in Austin, Texas, and then an impromptu trip to New York City divinely got orchestrated. And it's been such a joy and such an honor to interview the 3 guests that literally they've been on the show before, but just not in real life. The 3 guests I interviewed in New York City are vision board guests that were literally on my vision board to have back on. And it's been incredible. It's been amazing. And my intention is always to help support you, to give you some practical and tangible methods and inspiration to help you to navigate the universal energy that we're all experiencing. So, as you know, we are in the year of the horse now. We are in the fire energy. And then, of course, I always have to call in my favorite astrologers to help us to understand what the planets are doing now that we are officially in a new year, 2026. But here, get this, this is what I really need you to hear. There is another new year, not just the lunar new year, because I know many of you celebrated Welcome the Wealth with me, and we welcomed the wealth in February when we went from the year of the snake to the year of the horse. But guess what? If you still need a new revival, you still need a second wind, another chance, a fresh start, we are also heading into the astrological new year in Aries season. So with me today, I called in one of my very favorite astrologers, the most incredible people. You're so intelligent, Colin. That's all I got to say. I can't wait to talk with you. I have astrologer Colin Bedell with us today.
Oh, thank you, Christina. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, and I didn't do a proper introduction, so let me do this. Oh, yes, I will bother. Colin wrote the book Queer Cosmos, and I know it's not your only book. You also wrote the little book. Didn't you write the little book of astrology?
A little book of astrology, and I wrote the book on Gemini. So.
Oh, yeah. He's the Gemini king over here. I love it. He's also the official astrologer for Them magazine and the star of Written in the Stars on Discovery UK, which I loved that project that you did.
Thank you so much. It was really, really special. Really special.
And I think you almost became a citizen of Italy around that same time.
Hey, yeah. So it all kind of started then, and we're still in process, but based on not just the astrology of the new year, but my own instincts, I have a feeling my dual citizenship case will be positive. So I can finally be a citizen of Italia. See?
Yes. When I came to New York City, I asked you for some recommendations. I said I wanted Italian food.
See?
So you had some good recs. Yep. So thank you for that. Now, we have some catching up to do.
Yes.
So before we really, again, I want to prepare listeners and viewers. Mm-hmm. We're on YouTube now, guys. Got to take a look at Colin and I, get a view here. But we want to prepare you for the Astrological New Year, which is in Aries season, of course. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, let's just catch up, because last time you were on the show, so many things I want to say to you. But you actually changed my life when you taught me about Mercury retrograde. Did you know that?
No.
You probably don't even remember what you said. So.
Probably airhead, right? We talked about this.
Okay, let's start by introducing ourselves astrologically.
As airheads?
You're Gemini, which is air sign. I'm a Libra sign.
Yes. Yep.
My Mercury, which is the planet communication, Libra.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So there's a lot of air happening.
Yes.
But I'm a South Node Scorpio. My moon is in Aries, and my North Node is in Taurus and Taurus rising. My Venus is in Scorpio, Ophi, who was also on the show this season.
Right. One of my favorite water signs. Yeah.
Ooh, I do love Scorpio. Oof. My Saturn's in Scorpio.
Oh, yeah. Scorpio. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
this is why we get along. Tell me about you, though.
Oh, my astrology?
Yes.
So as we know, Gemini and a Gemini twin. So I was born on May 24th, and I have a twin sister named Courtney. So shout out to my twin sister. I am a Capricorn moon, so I really actually am an introvert, and I would honestly say that I get more of my energy from solitude and introspection, working hard, having discipline, systems, right? I'm learning to become Gemini in this lifetime. So we're all born our moon, we're becoming our sun. The sun sign doesn't come naturally to us. It's something we have to actively, consciously, So my astrologer, Maria Di Simone, helped me understand that. So we're born the moon. We're actively trying to become the sun sign. We're like reaching for it. And my rising sign is Leo. So in understanding Leo and Gemini, then I started to, as a Capricorn moon, study social skills and relational education so that I could be a little less introverted and withdrawn and a little bit more socially adaptable and connected to the people around me.
Well, you are all about connection. Well, one of the things you said to me, so it all connects when we talk about Mercury retrograde, because you told a story about the Titanic.
Yes.
And I'm obsessed with this story about so Mercury retrograde happens 3 times per year.
Exactly. Sometimes 4, but mostly 3. Yes. Great job.
Well, I actually have been working with the moon phases way more intentionally the last couple years, especially with as a feng shui practitioner, we follow the universal energy as well as the environmental energy. So how our immediate surroundings are, influencing us, and our personal energy. So all of those 3 types of energy are important, but that's why universally I'm always paying attention to, is it a new moon? Is it a full moon?
Right.
And I believe that all of that impacts us. And I really believe Mercury retrograde impacts us.
No doubt.
So you talked about the Titanic, which I'm going to actually ask you to maybe retell, but the whole point was Kate Winslet is a triple Libra.
She most certainly is. Shout out to Kate. I love you.
I know. So really I'm not a triple Libra at
That's
all,
okay.
but I say I want to be your Kate Winslet because I want to be like this. You're all about relationship. You're all about how, you wrote Queer Cosmos. That book is all about relationships.
Yes. Yeah. And the barriers that we don't talk enough about. And in talking about those barriers, do we find belonging? It's like the purpose was deconstruction a bit and then reconstruction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your whole approach with astrology is helping us to, of course, understand ourselves, but then to also help us to understand, what does that mean when we're what's in relationship? Have you ever heard, did you tell me this, that the quality of your life is measured by
the quality of our relationships?
Is that one of the things you always say? Yes.
And it was informed by the work done at Harvard in terms of determining. It was the longest study into adult satisfaction. It started in the 30s. President JFK was a student into it. That's how way back it goes. And this qualitative analysis emerged that the single greatest predictor of life satisfaction is the quality of our relationships. It's not finances. It's not professional success. It's not even necessarily physical exercise. It is, if you are interpersonally connected, that improves your immune system. It opens up different neural pathways for stress management, lowers your cortisol, the whole thing. And then Belgian couples therapist Esther Perel has that as her primary teaching, that the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships. So it's just something that I always questioned, but then really started to live into. Astrology helped me access it as well. And then working as an astrologer, I did notice there were many necessary conversations about self-awareness and personal insight. But what made me a little bit nervous was those conversations were almost positioned like that was the ceiling of the study, when in fact, I believe it's the floor of the study. That's where we begin. That's not where we graduate. And so in knowing that it's a necessary conversation to understand the self, it is insufficient if we're not understanding how you also have to get over yourself every once in a while and humbly connect to other people. And that, when I started to understand, and that's kind of a Libra scales concern, is the self and the other. And that's why you could see consistently across my content, my lectures, my keynotes, my books, my oracle deck, it is primarily about the astrology of relational intelligence, because there is no greater predictor to life satisfaction than that. So why are we not positioning that in almost everything that we're doing?
Wow, I think you planted the seed with that. I wish you could you have to watch this. You have to see his face in that. Colin,
Madonna mia, you know what I mean?
I actually kind of had this realization, I kind of have a secret. It's not really a secret. I talked about it this season on
Tell the secret.
This year on the podcast.
Tell the secret.
Well, it kind of started 2025 is when it started. I opened up season 7. We're in season 8 now.
Yes.
I opened up season 7 with an episode called "I Hired a Psychic Before I Hired a Therapist. Why You'll Want Both This Year." And I talked about how I also hired a relationship coach.
Ooh.
I was just having some, like, everything you're talking about. Like, I, for many years, was all about manifesting more money and helping. And I love helping people manifest money.
Come on,
and
Taurus
like,
rising.
of
That's
course.
right.
And like, I was also very big on like building my career and like really focusing on that. And then I, like, to your point about relationships, I just kind of took a step back and I realized, like, what am I doing? Like, I feel so disconnected in my marriage, and I just feel so, and like, we've been like working through it. And I've been talking to like, I mean, I think the first step is like talking to like people about like my stuff,
Yeah, of
right? And like
course.
clean up my side of the street,
Yes, girl.
of course. But then also hearing that voice is like, what do I want? What do I need? And all of these things. So I kind of was like, for a really long time, gaslighting myself and like making myself believe like, I don't really need that or this to like feel complete. But then at the end of the day, like when you say how impactful, not just romantic relationships, I'm completely platonic, and friendships are important too. But at the end of the day, that romantic relationship, that partner that you choose to spend time with on a daily basis, it impacts your quality of life. And so you have to like figure this out, because if you don't, like, you're fucking screwed.
It is that. Yeah. And you know what I think too? Like, more often than not, you're only going to figure it out when you're in it. You know, I think, of course, like, take some time away. Like, I'm definitely in kind of a hermit era right now. But also, I think when it comes to relational competence or relational functioning, you're really going to learn that by just being in one. You know, and so you could read about how to ride a bike, or you can ride a bike. Ride the fucking bike. Yeah. And so like the conversations of like, I'm just learning how to love myself first. I'm just going to be over here and like really just like get connected to myself. I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing your whole life other than that? Like, seriously, what have you been doing?
You're going to spend your whole life doing that.
Yeah,
truly.
really.
You're never going to be ready, right?
No. And you're actually going to learn about yourself more when you're mirrored back by other people. And that's the story of Libra. That's Libra. In a world without Libra, that's what we think is like this really profound thing, which is, oh, I'm just going to like love myself and learn to be with myself. And it's like, okay, enjoy.
Well, get this though.
Boring.
My North Node is in Taurus, but
nice.
Am I rising? I think they're both in the first house, which kind of connects to how we're talking about Aries season, which is the first sign of the zodiac, which is about the self.
Yes, and the autonomy, right? Because it's the beauty of Libra is it's both we and me. That's what we're balancing, right? So the self, the Aries self, the first house self, is the foundation of intelligence that helps me choose a partner with freedom. You see what I'm saying? Because I choose you, I want to be committed to you, and because I'm committed to you and I've done the work and will continue to do the work in relationship with you, I'm committed, but I'm not captive. And when we know what those ideas mean integrated through experience, we have the wisdom of Aries and Libra. Because if you don't accept and understand yourself, you're going to have a really difficult time explaining, this is how I want to be turned on. This is how I want to be touched. This is how I want to be spoken to. And then also, how about you? Because it's not just about, oh, this is my recipe to get along well with me. It's how do I understand your inner world and the way you want to be kissed and the way you want to be texted and called.
Okay, I'm like loving this. Okay, now I have to ask you questions. What is your Mercury sign? That's a sign of communication. Gemini. Oh my God, we both saw your Mercury.
Conjunct the sun.
Wait, what's it mean if your Mercury was retrograde when you were born?
Yes. Yes.
So how does this impact your Mercury and
Call
Gemini?
my mother. She'll tell you the story. Okay? No, so it's true. It was dramatic. Like, she gets into the car, the transmission blows. She can't find my father. I go blue. My twin sister's born for, it was just chaos. Pure chaos. May 24th, 1989. What it means theoretically is that anybody born under a Mercury retrograde was either trained in education, feeling like they weren't smart enough, they're kind of on the fringe. Both my twin sister and I were in sort of remedial classes. We were behind in certain, public school educational standards of where one should be at a certain time. But it didn't stop us. And we were actually, shout out to Courtney, we're the first ones in my whole family to graduate college. So then there's that retrograde energy of, because we were on the fringe and didn't feel like we belonged in the status quo of intelligentsia, we learned other ways of communication and intellect. which has served us exponentially. And then during transiting Mercury retrograde, her and I are fine.
I love that.
I don't know about everybody else, but we're good.
So many connections. First and foremost, I just want to say, like, Mercury and Gemini, I have a couple friends, Mercury and Gemini, like some of the most intelligent people I've ever I've met. So I just think when I talk to you, you're very cerebral. Like, I just think you're just a freaking genius the way that you connect things. And I'm saying that genuinely.
Thank you. I know, thank you.
And I love talking with you. And I just think, so my son he was also born during a Mercury retrograde.
What sign?
He's a Leo. And nice. I don't know all his other stuff, but he's a sweet Leo. Leo and Libra, of course, we get along.
Yeah, so easy.
And like, he's in second grade and like, he like needs like handwriting classes. And I'm like, he's been in school since he was really little because I'm working, I work full time. So I'm like, anyway, I'm like, maybe that's the Mercury retrograde.
Yes, it is.
It's hand, communication through writing.
And I think that, so this class, was it recommended to him and him alone because he's not, whatever the word is, like on standard,
I guess his hand,
grade level, there whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's interesting. It might feel alienating for him and maybe kick up some stuff, but long term, if you contain and hold that well, it could actually serve him gloriously in the realm of sense making, communication. Because here's a fun Mercury retrograde fact, right? Of the 100% of verbal communication that people take in, and this is the work of the Imago Institute, of the 100% of communication that people listen to, how much do you think they hear accurately? What percentage of communication do you think people hear accurately?
I mean, I would hope 90%, Colin, but I have a feeling I am very wrong.
You are. I love you, but yes. So take a wild guess.
So like, how much communication how much am I hearing accurately?
Correct.
Oh my gosh, 50%?
That's sweet. No.
Less than that?
Much lower.
So you're telling me that what you're saying to me, what people are listening to right now.
Yeah, you're giving 100 right now because you're in the pocket. She's got the container. She's got the microphone. I have her undivided attention. Thank God. Go ahead.
How much are people getting from this 10%?
13.
Oh, wow.
13%, Christina.
What does it mean? Like, they're just not comprehending everything? They're only picking up on what's vital to them?
I love that you said comprehending. That's the verb, because just because we're communicating doesn't mean comprehension is taking place. So during a transiting Mercury retrograde, people see the gap between comprehension and communication. And curiosity is the way in between. So it's up to people with, I think, natal Mercury retrograde to kind of slow down conversations and be like, did you understand what was just communicated? Can you repeat it back to me so I can fact check for accuracy? And just show a proactive, and not from a place of condescension or self-righteousness, but just like, and sometimes like I just did this with my mother today. She was telling me something really significant. So it's like, wait, Mom, hold on. Let me just make sure I got that right. Summarize, mirror, reflect back. And I got it wrong the first try. Yeah. So having that moment allowed me to go, because also too, when we're hearing things that maybe we're emotionally flammable with, the minute we get defensive, the minute we get hypervigilant, the 13%, which is our peak, goes to 0.
Oh my goodness.
So people are getting mad about things they never heard. People are ready to attack based on complete distortion of information. And if they just slowed down and asked a question before they got into contempt and conflict, they would avoid so much unnecessary suffering. And that's why people demonize Mercury retrograde, because it's very vulnerable to be curious. It's very vulnerable to say, wait, I actually have no idea what you're talking about. This is a completely foreign concept to me. Can you break it down? People love to be the knower. They don't want to be the learner. So during a transiting Mercury retrograde, it's an invitation to say, wow, none of us know anything. Mm-hmm. The gag is we're all airheads. Mm-hmm. So can we just lighten up, slow it down, and just like, hold on, can you just repeat that back to me? And then just get into the learning, as opposed to posturing and pretending we know when we absolutely do not.
I'm so glad you used the term vulnerable, because when you were telling me about what your mom said to you and that you actually said, Mom, let me repeat this back to you, and you didn't actually hear her correctly.
Didn't hear it correctly.
I was thinking how vulnerable that must be, because you have to be willing to say, like, I might not have heard you correctly.
Yes.
That's what's so vulnerable about it. And it's like a little bit, it's humbling, right? You're just like, I don't know everything.
I certainly don't. And actually, there's something called the Dunning-Kruger paradox, where the more studied or educated you become in a material, the less you report mastery in it. So the people who know actually don't. And the people who, the people who don't know are the ones who say they know. And then the ones who really know are the ones that go, oh, I'm not really sure. So it's this funny little inverse. But yeah, just to slow down certain hard conversations and ask. I mean, and it's helpful and it just connects you to people more effectively because then they see your humility and then they feel they have the permission to go, oh, wait, can you just dial that all the way back for me? I'm not really sure what you just said. Anyway.
So I want to bring this to like the whole Mercury retrograde package and back to Kate Winslet, by the way.
Yes,
I'm gonna
exactly.
Get there. So this
Where
whole
is she?
point,
Is she outside?
Well,
no, she's right
you
here.
and I were talking about, I don't know if we said this while we were recording. So let me just repeat. So Mercury retrograde happens 3 or you said sometimes 4 times a year.
3, yeah.
And it's about 2.5, 3 weeks because there's a pre-shadow and post-shadow.
Yes, which we're in now.
Okay. Yes, I know. This is probably why it was fun to whip this up in post-shadow, this New York City trip. But we did it.
Yeah, girl.
So my whole point in sharing this is I think it's really relevant for listeners to hear how like Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year. It's predictable cycle and it's not all so bad. And what you changed my life with is this visual of, I know it sounds silly, but you said that the Titanic sunk during a Mercury retrograde.
Correct.
And it's this perfect story of how the Titanic was moving full steam ahead in order to sensationalize everything. Yeah, I have his words too. And instead of slowing down, they pushed through and ended up hitting that iceberg.
Exactly.
And this is what happens in Mercury retrograde in a way when we're not willing to slow down. We're not willing to like step back, relax, and do all the re's. Yes. That's going against the universal energy. So I just wanted you to know, like, that stuck with me big time.
Oh, Christina, thank you. And I love that you use the reverb. Yeah, that's all we have to do. Reconsider, revise, and even just, I think it's almost as if with that story, it's a very real story, history wrote a kind of myth for us, right? Because the reason why the Titanic was moving too fast, like you said, was to, kind of get in the papers and sensationalize. And it was the owner of the White Star Line, Bruce Ismay, the businessman, who told the captain of the ship to do that. And he listened. So therein lies that myth of, business and more is more, less is a bore, sensationalism, right? Whereas the captain, the executive thinking, the critical awareness, the person who has discipline and the leadership to say, you are not the captain of this ship. Shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And look what happens when we listen to that voice. And then the historical heartbreak is that the captain died and the businessman lived.
Right.
Yeah. So and he lived the rest of his life disgraced and in shame. But yeah, that's the story. And if we could just slow down. It's so hard in today's culture, and it's going to be especially hard in 2026 with the astrology. But it's needed.
The astrology, the year of the horse. Okay, we're going to get into that in just a second. I just have a personal question for you too, because you've been talking about communication, which led us down the path of Mercury.
Yes.
And then as we were talking about relationships, I'm like, wait, now I want to also know what your Venus sign is.
A Gemini too, Christina.
Really?
Oh my God, yes.
So you're a Gemini sun, Gemini Mercury, Gemini Venus.
And Gemini Jupiter, girl.
Does that make it a stellium or stellium?
Yes, 3 or more. Although, I'll tell you what, my astrologer said that she had acknowledged, she said, okay, you have 4 planets in Capricorn. 4 planets in Gemini, Marie Di Simone. She said, but Capricorn wins. So I'm basically a Capricorn pretending to be a Gemini.
You have a lot of Capricorn in your chart then too?
Too much.
Oh, interesting.
Too much. Yes, too much. Okay. And they're so different. Gemini and Capricorn are just like wildly different. But it has both of these signs have really helped me. But I do know that when I'm too much in Capricorn, I'm in familiar territory. I'm a little too comfortable. I'm in that predictable automatic. So I have to grow towards Gemini. So I'm going there. I'm trying. It's never so easy.
Interesting to hear you say. And honestly, like I guess unless you're watching this on YouTube, like you didn't see, like when you said, I'm a mind blown emoji when you said that we are born as our moon sign.
Correct.
but we are here to aspire to be in our sun sign.
Yes.
And I've just never heard that before. So you as a sun sign in Gemini, you're sitting here telling me like you're trying to aspire to be more in that Gemini. What's your moon again?
Capricorn.
Oh, interesting. So it's all coming together. It's all making sense.
Together. Yeah. And that came from Maria Di Simone, my astrologer. And once again, you want to use the rising sign approach to access the sun. So if I could summarize yours as best as I can, you're born Aries. So you are more in touch with Aries ruled autonomy, independence, and desire. So for Christina to be in her independence and wanting and exploring things and novelty and risk taking and running to New York and doing things spontaneously, right? You do feel fully alive. There's no question about it, right? You're becoming Libra. So it's a matter of holding, all right, my desires, my spontaneity, what makes me feel fully alive must be held in mutuality with the desires, the boundaries, and the context of others. So I need to be asking a lot of questions to understand what does the other, the beloved, want and expect of me, and let's get into agreement. Because Libra offers agreement to people, right? A lot of us are living from what my friend Francesca calls covert contracts. We just expect people to know these things, and we're in these silent agreements. And then when they don't do what we never asked them to do, we hold them accountable. That's insanity. And Libra is assigned to say, hold on a minute. Let me make clear and complete requests of people so that I can actually see what they're down for. And then if they say yes, then I can hold them accountable. But if no one's agreeing, I am choosing resentment, right? Taurus is the sign of safety and security, financial sufficiency, right? So it makes so much sense that your business is concerned about the aesthetics of space. Because what I've known about Taurus is that when their environment is off, they absolutely cannot. No, I'd be just fine. I don't really care. I'm a Gemini. I'm like, whatever, but I love when Taurus teaches me, wait a minute. No. Dim these lights, put that lamp on, light a candle. Let's get some cute music. Let's set the vibe. And then when they create an environment of whatever their value is, I'm like, oh, damn, they were so right. So you're becoming that energy of Venus, of environment, of providing not just financial safety and sufficiency, but the relational skills too. And when you hold those three together, you start to understand the curriculum of your natal chart more effectively.
Okay, so for you, you're a Leo rising?
Yes.
So how do you need to use your Leo rising to navigate and get closer to that Gemini? Ooh, I'm asking Colin to dissect his own chart right now.
I know. How does one do it? I will say, because of the Leo, I mean, this whole environment is very Leo rising. I mean, look, we have this great lighting. We're in a studio. This is very Leo.
You are in the spotlight, and I'm loving this for you.
Crying, and my toes are curling. I think that
By the way, follow him go to Queer Cosmos right now and tell me this man does not like the spotlight a little bit. Come on, your content is so good, and I hate to call it content because it's more than that.
It's okay.
It is like, I mean, you are like it. It's a show. It's a TV show. It should be a TV show. Your Instagram should be on YouTube.
I'm working on it. Now that I'm stabilized, I could have different career goals. But I really, the Leo rising, and most of my Leo rising friends can corroborate this. I found a lot of really beautiful ones over the last few years. The lighting, the Leo stuff, it follows us. We don't even really. We're not looking for it. We're not. I would love to just not.
I pulled you on this stage today for sure.
I would have been unpacking, deconstructing, right? And I'm honored to be here. Of course, I'm just explaining. I love you too. I'm just explaining that, using the fact that yes, these opportunities tend to, for maybe spiritual and sociocultural reasons, open themselves up to me pretty quickly. And what I'm going to do is use them in thinking about, to quote my friend, astrologer Carrie Myers, I believe that Leo is a public servant. And it's when I'm on these opportunities and doing things that are widely scaled, I'll disclose only if it's in service to the work about who I am and what I do, whatever. But what I really want to do is when I have this attention on me, I want to provide information and inspiration for healing, period. And that's Leo, Gemini. which is I'm not going to get up here and tell you a whole lot of meaningless information about me. I'm only going to self-disclose information that's in service to the work, and very Capricorn, Gemini, Leo. And then that way I can operate in Leo as a public servant and use these microphones, these relationships, these opportunities to provide people with information that actually could transform their lives.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I have to share something with you right now then that totally connects and it brings it all together, because literally just before you sat in this chair, Dr. Wayne Dyer's daughter, Sage, was in this chair on the show, right? So her episode aired last week. And one of my favorite Dr. Wayne Dyer quotes is he talks about how if you ask the universe, how can I serve? The universe will ask, how can I serve you? And ultimately, it just means like if you and Gabby Bernstein talks about this too, like
Marianne Williamson too. Yeah.
It's very Course in Miracles, right? Like true manifestations are backed in service and love. Period. I mean, I don't even have to say anything else.
Totale in Italiano, sì.
I believe that the reason why New York City happened is because it was backed in service and love. Like, why else am I doing this? I'm not here for myself at all. It's like what you said. I just really want to anchor into that. Like, that's what this is all about, is like serving others, helping others live their best life. No matter how cliche that is.
No, certain cliches are cliches because they're true. So say more about that. You deciding to come here and rent a studio. This is your first time, not your first time working in New York City, right? You've been here before, but right?
Yeah, but I've never rented a podcast studio in New York City. This is the first time. Well, okay.
That's great.
So I'll tell you this. Ophi has become, so Ophira Adut of the Astro Twins is also on this season. And ultimately, I feel like that's kind of why this whole New York City trip came about. And here's why. I'm going to tie it back to the astrology, and it's going to make it clear. In November 2024, Uranus started to transition over my North Node and my rising in Taurus. And like life has just been,
Yes.
And it's there till April. Okay. When I tell you that, what's that mean?
Well, not to dramatically clear the throat. My astrologer, again, Maria Di Simone, has told me that she has loved Uranus transits more than any other aspect to her personal planets. And she's seen a significant amount because of not just her client practice, but she's a little bit older than me. And so she loves Uranus transits for that as an example. It tends to provide people with spontaneous 11th hour changes. And I think the same thing happened to Ophi, which she might have shared when she was it happened, I think, in the mid to late 90s for her. For you, it's happening now. It's going to happen for me next year.
Okay, so what is Taurus transitioning into next year?
It'll be Gemini.
I meant Uranus.
I knew you meant. See, I said Gemini. I
think I might be really confused.
What do you mean Taurus is transitioning? Are they getting gender reassignment? Like, what's going on?
So Uranus is moving into, what did you just say?
Gemini, for the first time in 84 years.
Is your
all my shit.
Wait, all of that stuff is going to be activated in your chart. So like right now, at the time of this recording, I believe Uranus is still in Taurus.
Correct.
So is it influencing anything in your chart if your chart has something in Taurus? Or is that too broad stroke?
No. Oh, absolutely.
And Uranus is like the planet of like...
spontaneous, innovative, healing, disruptive changes.
Disruptive.
Yeah. That's because I think and this actually corresponds to eclipse season in March as well, is that Uranus is one of many astrological subjects that helps us understand we are not in control. And I think it's very important for people involved in the metaphysical arts, which you and I are a part of, psychological and personal development, to really evaluate just how much we are leaning on these concepts for control. And Uranus is like, oh, I'll show you. And I love that because also, too, the more we control, the more we flatten our life force, the less we feel alive. So the Uranus transits, as you're experiencing now, like, yeah, they're uncomfortable. They're scary. They're messy. You're doing something extremely brave and high risk by being here. And you should be really proud of yourself. Yeah, you should be. And when Uranus provides these opportunities for you, then you go back to Chicago, right? And realize, oh, I'm a bad bitch. Why do I act like I can't do scary things?
Mm.
You know, and only when we step out of control and we're in the void, the unpredictable, the unmanageable, do we meet a version of ourselves that is creative, risk-taking, alive, courageous, brave. And that's what I love about these kind of astrological conversations, you know. And one more thing about the zeitgeist at this moment is our world has already become so controllable, so predictable. You know, I say something all the time, which I learned from Esther Perel. Google tells us what to search for. Spotify tells you what to listen to. Calendar tells you your next appointment. Amazon might tell you what to buy. We're already in assisted living. Ding, right? Something just went off. And so what that would mean is to be in the unknown is incredibly radical right now. It's also incredibly brave. And that's what I love about Uranus trans is it's like, okay, you can be in control to a certain degree, but guess what? Your life force will flatten.
Well, honestly, you talk about this a lot in astrology, and I really I just want to emphasize how I think it's a fresh perspective. I think that people come to astrology, and the truth is, as humans, I can see how we don't like the unknown, and yet that's when we're fully living. It's when we're taking a risk.
Hello, Aries moon.
That's the point. But to your point, and Colin and I wanted to bring up eclipse season because at the time of that this recording is coming out to you listeners and viewers, we just had an eclipse season and they always come up, right? We're always experiencing eclipses, and you've probably heard the pop astrologers are talking about how it shakes things up always and the unpredictability. But also I think in some ways, Colin, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like you would say but we're always kind of in that space.
Precisely.
Ultimately, there's nothing that's guaranteed. So how do you,
no, I'm so glad you put words in my mouth because those are my words.
Well, those are your words.
Our words now, honey, Libra.
Yeah. Well, no, I just think, well, Colin, you're just on a, I just can't wait to see what you do in the year of the horse because we're shifting into the year of the horse, which is this yang energy.
Yes.
We're also now in this Aries as we head into the Aries season. Let's shift into the new year, okay?
Yes.
The New Year's Aries season, that's a fire energy.
Yes.
You're the fire horse.
Yes.
You were saying all these, you can go talk your astrology stuff.
Talk, Gemini.
Talk your talk, because honestly, I don't know what else to say. All I know is that
yeah, you got
the through line of your work is absolutely that we don't have as much control as we think. And you don't want it to be a predictive measure of this is what your year is going to be like because Uranus is transiting into
Gemini.
Into Gemini.
Gotcha.
There's no blanket statement,
right?
But the way that you can describe, you can give us a heads up, but then I love the way you interpret it. So I'll just step back.
Right. No, but
tell us what we can expect.
Tell us what we can expect without expecting too much, right? This Libra balance, honey.
Are you talking to both sides apparently?
No, but it's Libra. It's because both truths are inherently paradoxical.
Two things can be true at the same time.
And if that's all anybody takes from this podcast, we just saved them from decades of suffering. Really, though.
But we really want to have this fixed mindset, don't we?
We do.
We want things to be a certain way and it to be linear, and it's not linear. It's
not. There are times and places for those conversations. They were predominantly from maybe 2018 to 2025 because of Uranus in Taurus. Taurus loves A or B, which, again, there's times and places for that, for sure. But now that Uranus is in Gemini, well, will be on April 28th and then stay there until 2033, and we're in the Aries New Year. It's an initiation into, again, who are you in uncertainty? Who do you want to be? Because the more you control, and this is actually the work of German sociologist Hartmut Rosa. He wrote a book called The Uncontrollability of the World. It changed my life. And it's an anthropological text, sociological too, very short, very academic, but it just helped me understand that, said simply, an unknown world is an alive one. A known, manageable, predictable world is a dead one. Period.
Literally, that's what I was going to say, period.
Yeah, punto totale. See, it's just, and what are we doing all the time in our world? Trying to make it manageable, controllable, predictable. And then we wonder why we're feeling flat, uninspired, bored, and just, wait a minute, I could have sworn this should have been better. Right. And that makes sense because this is what I mean about the world becoming so predictive. We're in the zeitgeist. It's in the air. I'm not saying it's a personal problem. It's a pattern problem that we're all in. And when I read that book, and I surrounded myself with Aries influenced people because I've learned the most about this through Aries. And I just want to engage with the unknown from a place of not trying to control and not trying to predict, then I felt fully alive. And one more thing, this is more Capricorn, but the more we try to control, and this is the work of Heart Mood again, the more we unleash monsters of uncontrollability.
Ooh.
I think that our current president is a great example of that. And in astrology, I will just say that there are certain trends, and I will say this with a lot of humility here. There are certain astrology schools of thought and astrologers who do err on the side of control, and then they act out of control in public. They act completely out of control online, at events, and I'm like, interesting. And I won't name any names because I don't believe in public shaming.
Right.
So I know that this is not necessarily the most evidence-based. But what I will say, what I will say is that, again, the more we try to control, the more we are controlled by uncontrollability. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I also
Like
think it's
Frankenstein.
it's an interesting paradox, I think, for you as an astrologer, because people are always asking you for like the predictions. We were talking about, I was like, okay, this is going to air in March and we're going to be coming out of eclipse season. We're heading into Aries season. It's a astrological new year. I was hoping we could get a little bit of guidance, but I know that you can't necessarily predict.
No.
Like what's going to happen, but maybe you could give us a heads up of what are, like put into, tell me about that.
The context, because I think the beauty of astrology and other metaphysical disciplines is that it does provide orientation. It provides a cosmology. And in thinking about astrology as one, because I can't speak to human design, numerology, or feng shui, in thinking about astrology as one, right, we could say that the solar eclipse in Aquarius on, if I know off the top of my head, February 17th or February 18th, give or take, provided a new beginning in your relationship to community. And the awareness of what Dr. Martin Luther King called the inescapable network of mutuality that all of humanity is caught in. Knowing that is context, it's not control. And then we had a lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd. The context here, back to orientation and cosmology, two words that my Virgo friends are giving me all the time. And I love that because it's very different than control, just context, right? Because human beings need that. The nervous system needs predictability, familiarity, reliability, and structure too. Not just the uncontrollable, the void, all of that. The lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd allows us to understand, okay, so what are the small steps, the small goals I can make in order to develop a certain level of habit formation in my routines to become the person I imagine for myself? Virgo is the sign of small goals only. Virgo's telling everybody, oh, you think you can sprint? Baby, you can't even crawl. So let's get you crawling, walking, and running, and then we could talk about sprinting. You know, and then I never quote sports stories because I'm way too fucking gay for that. I'm sure I know there's many gays in sports, but not me. Okay. But I learned something from a book by Ruben, The Creative Act of Being, but it's about basketball coach John Wooden. And he would draft Division I collegiate athletes who were already world-class, Division I, amazing, right? And whenever they would start his basketball seasons, they were all excited. They were like, ooh, what are we going to learn? What are we going to do? It's got to be these extraordinary, exceptional strategies, approaches, equations. No one must know them. This coach took world-class athletes and trained them for months on how to put on their socks and tie their shoes. Because he says, you want excellence? Okay, great. I want that for you too. Well, excellence is just a system of small choices that we make cumulatively that compound over time that give you momentum. So again, let's crawl before we sprint. Knowing that, then the people who are listening and who are thinking about Virgo may want to ask themselves, okay, so what if I just maybe want to breathe before I do something stressful? What if maybe I just want to, I don't know, drink some water? Do you know how dehydrated people are? I can tell by their tongues and their breath, frankly. I'm a little Judge Judy on that. I'm like, please scrape your tongue and drink some water because it's stinking. Okay. But really, it's these little things that we could do. It's not these huge, exceptional, sometimes, but not really. So with that in mind, whenever we get eclipses, they're just check-ins with these ideas. And I do believe they're a little bit more potent in that the universe kind of sits us down and says, how you doing so far? This business of you running things with your community and your goals and your this and that, how you doing? Because you'll know really quickly by the quality of your results. And if your goals are way too big, you're going to crash out. But we told you on March 3rd, deconstruct and reconstruct, right? And if you also think that you're an island and that you're not responsible for citizenry, community, also family of origin too. We talk a lot about, relationships, and we're just Americans, we have a real distorted ideology with family. That's a different conversation, but just connecting to your people. How are you doing so far? So I appreciate those check-ins. I appreciate those audits by the universe and the context to sort of say, hey, Colin, walk it like you talk it, because then you'll be at peace. And if you don't, you'll be in pain.
Okay, I'm gonna practice something here that we talked about earlier this
comprehension
episode to see if I comprehend it.
Yes, good job, baby. Sorry, because I did give a lot of information.
Well, I don't know how perfect it's gonna come out,
Lord
and I'm humbly. I love it though. It's the Gemini, Mercury, all the things. But okay, so you talked about how we just passed through 2 eclipses. One was in Aquarius.
Good job. Solar
One
eclipse.
was in Virgo.
Good job.
And what 100%. I'm just yes, okay, we're good so
10,
far.
10, 10 across the board.
And just what I'm trying to sort of summarize, especially because we know there's going to be other eclipses in the future. The eclipses were an opportunity, depending on what the sign was, to kind of assess what does that sign stand for? What is it? What is that sign teaching us?
Yes.
And now the eclipse is going to, if you have not been, like you said, Aquarius rules community, family origins, things like that. Virgo.
More community. I threw in family of origin. My fault.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Community and things like that. And then, of course, Virgo, you were saying like how are you doing with your self-discipline and your habits and your tasks? If there are cracks in the foundation there, then the eclipse is going to shake that up and reveal that to you. And so those are opportunities. And so when there's eclipse in a different sign, same thing. And so thank you. Because I think there's sometimes some fear propaganda out there that's like, oh, it's eclipse season and anything goes, which sometimes it does.
Yeah.
But what I'm also getting from this, and not to throw in numerology, but I am a 4 life path, but I'm also a 5 expression.
Okay.
And so the way that looks is the 4 is think about a table, has 4 legs, like stability, tradition and a home base, right? But then the 5 expression is very much needs adventure and excitement. It's kind of like a Sagittarius. Maybe it's the Aries moon type of vibe.
Right.
So that freedom. And so one of the things that my numerologist said, you might know her, Felicia Bender.
Of course.
Yeah,
she's
Felicia.
In the Astro Style universe, baby.
Yes,
I love it.
She is. So one thing she always says to me, and it's also very yin and yang, right? It's like the stability and the freedom together. And she always said that true freedom comes through self-discipline, which is kind of what you were talking about the Virgo season, the Virgo eclipse.
Yeah, and it's weird because you're actually making me emotional because
really?
because I think that's the wisdom of all the earth signs is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I think Taurus is get clear on your values so that you know the small ways to put them into practice all the time. Thank you, Virgo. So that you have the discipline and the character of integrity. And I've been a little hard on my Capricorn stellium recently because I've had to disappoint some people and say no. And I'm like, but I also got to move and I have shit to do. And I have my own incontrovertible necessary things to do. And the more that I am disciplined, the more healed I become. The integrity feels pretty airtight at this point. It won't always, I'm sure. I'll fuck up. But I feel whole, and I feel free because I regulate my impulses.
Such a duality, isn't it though?
It is. No, I know, but thank God we're air signs because we can make peace with it. And we're like, oh, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
In my consultations, some other signs have a harder time with that, and I do empathize based on their astrological makeup. But the paradox is it, and yeah, that's just really beautiful. I'm gonna not be so hard on my Capricorn energy because of what you and Felicia just reminded me of.
Oh my God, that actually like touch you in that way,
Of
and
course.
have something resonate for you because you
Oh,
you're just
Christina, seriously, let me just say,
that made me so happy.
no, on the record, it means so much to me that I feel like you are such an active participant in the work that I put out, that you retain some information. I clock all of that.
Yeah.
I might not always be able to tell you in person because, again, I'm an airhead and you see the speed of New York City. It's crazy. If only I lived in the North Pole and then I can actually talk to my friends digitally. But it really does mean so much to me. And I'm very, very, very grateful for the way that you have supported and participated and encouraged and affirmed these conversations. And from the Titanic story to other things, I do not take any of that for granted. And truly, I just need you to know that.
Oh, good.
Libra.
And before we close, before we even started talking on the camera and before the cameras were rolling, there were just a few things that I just had I feel that I reflected some things back to you that you have put out into the world. And that it
Libra.
really seems to be you're yeah, that is what I stand for. That is,
Yes.
I am a relational astrologer. And I don't think you wrote that in a bio anywhere.
No.
I just got this from I don't know. I think that the work that you put out there really is so unique and very needed right now. And I'm just glad that you feel seen and that because at the end of the day, back to our service, it's you're not just going out there because you just want to watch your own Instagram reels.
No, I don't.
You genuinely are changing lives. So yeah,
I'm crying.
this is Pluto and Aquarius vibes, right? Because it's we have two microphones, but then think about all the other people that are going to actually hear this conversation.
Ooh, getting chills. Yeah.
And we're having this conversation, you guys. It's December. It's the holiday season. It's so weird because this is coming out St. Patrick's Day. Everyone's drinking green beer, and it's it's so interesting to me. That's why I kind of just love podcasting. It's almost this strange addiction because you're just it's kind of cool to have these really incredible conversations. And then 3 or 4 months later, hear it come back online.
Yes.
And then it also takes a new life force when other people get inspired and changed by that conversation. So thanks for being here.
Oh, Christina, thank you. And oh my gosh, so just one more thing because now we're Libra, Leo, affirming each other. That is the gift of Libra. Because Libra is ruled by Venus, as is Taurus. So the planet Venus, have you ever seen the symbol? It's the circle with the cross underneath. It's also the symbol for feminism and femininity. I don't know if you've seen it, but in Greek and Roman mythology, it represents Aphrodite or Venus's mirror. The mirror.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes. And so I learned that from Alan Oken. And there is just a very distinct way, and I can get emotional thinking about this again too. God damn it. The moon's in Cancer right now.
Oh, I love it.
But there is a very distinct way that my Libras and Taurians will just reflect me back to me. And I go, oh my God, is that, that's how I'm seen in this way. And I would have no idea if it wasn't for the Venus ruled signs to be I see who you are and what you do. And in case it's not obvious to you, let me reflect you back to you. That's Libra and Taurus.
Yeah. So and grateful. You have both. I have both.
Yeah, she Libra is Venus, honey.
I love Venus. I was a Venetian at one point.
At one point? At all points? Are you kidding me? You still are Martian.
Other lifetimes.
Yeah, no, and also now, I feel that from you. Oh, God, yeah. The outfit, the whole thing, this gorgeous podcast, the accessories. Yeah, no, I'm Libra Taurus. I love it.
Thank you.
That's why I texted you. What should I wear? I have in the history of my career.
Really? You've never done that?
Never have I texted somebody. What should I wear? It's so Libra. I'm I know all 3 outfits look the same because they really did. I knew I wanted to wear a sweater, but I was what should I wear? This cable knit, this 3/4 length, or this turtleneck?
Well, it was pretty sweet. I'm laughing so hard at myself the whole conversation, and that's really sweet. That means so much to me that you sent me the picture with the 3 shirts. And to be honest, like it was like 2 cable necks and they were all like very similar colors. I'm like, it was kind of like, do you want me to wear this white one, or this white one? And but they were different. And you went with the
like cable, the quarter length.
The 3/4.
Yeah, right. And I have you seen The Devil Wears Prada enough to like, I'm sure, right? You watch it.
Not enough. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay, yeah, please, because the sequel's coming out in May.
Oh, okay. I need to touch up.
There's an assistant who holds 2 very similar blue belts in front of Miranda Priestly, and she's like, "Which one? It's a hard choice. They're so different, and they really don't look that different." And then Andy Sachs, Anne Hathaway's character, starts to laugh, and then Miranda Priestly's like, "Something funny," and then it turns into a whole thing. But anyway,
it's the whole thing.
It's so Libra. Just watch that one moment when this assistant holds 2 belts. They look so similar, and then she asks Miranda Priestly, "Which one? They're so different."
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Libra. It's so Libra.
It was so perfect. Well, you ended up looking just so stunning, and there's something special about being in person.
Yes, I know. I mean, so embodied. It's embodied.
So cool.
It's Earth.
No filter.
Yeah, no filter. And somatic. It's embodied. Damn. And we haven't had that in almost 5 years to the scale we used to pre-pandemic.
Oh, so may this just be the beginning.
That's it.
All right.
Happy
everyone,
New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to everyone. Like, this is like officially like, okay, 2025 is officially here. The astrological
2026.
Oh, shoot.
I got you. See, I told you. You don't know what fucking year it is. I don't, not you, we. Because we're just like.
This is a season finale, so I'm perfect with this. I love it. So this is the perfect way to go out. Okay, 2026. Here's the thing, though. I feel like I've been talking about the new year for like 6 months. Right. So this is like my official send off to everyone in this community. I love you all. I will be back eventually.
Of course.
But, in the meantime.
After she watches The Devil Wears Prada.
Of course. We had the New Year, January 1st. Then we had the Lunar New Year, February 17th.
Oh my God.
Now we have the Astrological New Year. Is that officially the first day of Aries season?
Good job. Yep. March 20th or 21st, depending on the leap year. But I think it is the 20th.
Okay. So we got you covered for all the New Years. And now I don't want to say, I was going to say, okay, now you're on your own. But I will be back. I will be back to support you, of course, and bring you more amazing guests and more ways to design the life you deserve. Okay. So everyone, thank you, Colin, for being the season finale. I love you.
I love you too.
And listeners, I will see you next time where I will help you design the life you deserve. See you soon. Cheers.